Hey everyone, welcome back to Smart English Podcast. Let me ask you something. Have you ever spoken English with perfect grammar, but people still knew you weren't a native speaker?
Here's the truth. Most English learners believe grammar is what makes you sound fluent. But that's not true. The biggest difference between you and a native speaker isn't grammar. It's the everyday phrases you use. And if you're still using textbook English, you could be sounding unnatural without even realizing it.
If you've ever wondered, why do I still sound like an English learner? Then trust us, you clicked on the right video. Because today, we're going to fix one of the biggest mistakes that almost every English learner makes.
By the end of this episode, you'll know the everyday English phrases that native speakers actually use, so you can sound more natural, more confident, and more like someone who's spoken English for years. And I guarantee, at least one phrase you learn today will replace something you've probably been saying your whole life.
Ready to sound more natural? Let's jump right in. All right. Let's start with a phrase that almost every English learner uses. I'm fine. Emma, how are you today?
I'm fine. How about you?
Nothing wrong with it. But it feels a little flat. Now listen to this.
Hey Emma, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Can't complain. It's been a busy week, but I'm doing great.
Did you hear the difference? Nobody used difficult English. The conversation simply sounded more natural, more friendly, and much more like real life.
Here's today's quick challenge. The next time someone asks, "How are you?" don't automatically say, "I'm fine." Pick just one of today's expressions instead. You might be surprised at how much more confident and natural you sound.
And tell us in the comments, which expression are you going to try first?
All right, ready for phrase number 2? Trust me, this is one of the biggest English mistakes almost everyone makes. All right, phrase number 2. Now this one's interesting because almost everyone says it. The phrase is, "I don't know."
And let's be clear, there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying, "I don't know." Native speakers say it all the time, but in many conversations, they often make it sound a little softer, a little more natural, and a little more conversational.
Instead of stopping the conversation with, "I don't know," you might hear, "I'm not sure. Let me think." Or, "That's a good question." Those little phrases give you a moment to think, keep the conversation flowing, and make you sound much more relaxed. Emma, what's the best place to visit in Europe?
That's a good question. I'd probably say Italy. The food looks amazing. But honestly, I'm not sure. There are so many beautiful places. What about you?
Let me think. I'd go with Spain. I've always wanted to experience the culture and the beaches.
Did you notice that? Neither of us rushed to answer. We took a second to think, and the conversation felt relaxed, natural, and real. That's exactly what everyday English sounds like.
Here's your challenge. The next time someone asks you a question, don't rush to answer immediately. Try saying, "Let me think," or "That's a good question." It gives you a little time to think and makes your English sound much more natural.
Quick question for you. Which one would you actually use first? "I'm not sure. Let me think." Or, "That's a good question." Tell us in the comments.
All right, you've learned 2 phrases already. But phrase number 3 is something millions of English learners say every single day. Without even realizing, it makes their English sound less natural. Let's see if you're one of them. All right, phrase number 3. And honestly, this is one I hear all the time. The phrase is, very good.
Now, is it wrong? Not at all. Native speakers say it too. But here's what many English learners don't notice. When everything is very good, your English can start to sound a little repetitive.
Instead of using very good, again and again, native speakers often choose reactions that sound a little more natural and a little more expressive. You'll hear things like, great, awesome, really good, or that was fantastic. They're simple, but they make your English sound much more natural and much more engaging.
Emma, how was the movie?
It was very good.
Perfectly correct. Now listen to this. Emma, how was the movie?
It was awesome. I honestly didn't expect to enjoy it that much. I'd definitely watch it again.
Did you notice the difference? Both answers are correct, but the second one gives people a little more to respond to. It sounds more expressive, more natural, and the conversation keeps flowing.
That's something native speakers do all the time. They don't always use difficult vocabulary. They simply vary the words they already know. And that small habit makes a big difference.
Here's your challenge. Today, instead of saying, very good, try one of these instead. Great, awesome, or that was fantastic. It might seem like a small change, but it can make your English sound much more natural.
Now tell us, which one sounds most like you? Great! Awesome! Or, that was fantastic. Leave your answer in the comments.
All right, we've got just one more phrase to go, and trust me, it's one that almost every English learner uses, without even realizing. There's a much more natural way to say it. Let's check it out. All right, we've made it to our final phrase. And this one might surprise you. The phrase is, I want.
Now, there's nothing wrong with saying, I want. Native speakers use it all the time. But depending on the situation, it can sometimes sound a little too direct, especially when you're asking someone for something.
That's why you'll often hear native speakers say, I'd like, could I have, or can I get? They're polite, natural, and incredibly common in everyday English. Let's compare them. Conversation 1. Hi, what can I get for you today?
I want a coffee.
Perfectly understandable. Now listen to this. Hi, what can I get for you today?
I'd like a latte, please.
Of course. Anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Did you notice the difference? Both requests are correct, but the second one sounds more polite, more relaxed, and much closer to how native speakers usually order food or drinks.
And the best part? You're not learning difficult English. You're simply choosing the expression that fits the situation a little better. Sometimes the smallest changes make the biggest difference.
Here's today's final challenge. The next time you order something, don't automatically say, I want. Instead, try saying, I'd like, or can I get? It's a tiny change, but it leaves a great impression.
Now it's your turn. Which one would you use? I'd like, or can I get? Tell us in the comments.
And that's it for today's episode. If you learned even one new phrase today, then you've already taken one more step towards sounding more natural in English.
And if you enjoyed this lesson and want to sound even more like a native speaker, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our next episode.
Thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us today. We really appreciate you being here.
We'll be back soon with more real conversations, more everyday English, and more phrases you'll actually use in real life. Until next time, keep learning, keep speaking, and we'll see you in the next episode of Smart English Podcast.